Hi everyone, it's Jennifer Porco, and today we're diving into a topic that so many families face: caring for aged parents and loved ones. Joining me is Tamara, founder of Aging Family Partners right here in Knoxville. Tamara and her team help families navigate the challenges of senior care with guidance, compassion, and practical planning. So, whether you're trying to decide between aging in place or transitioning to another type of care, or you just want to be better prepared for the future, this conversation is packed with insight. Tamara, thank you so much for being here
You're
today.
welcome. Thank you.
Tamara, what inspired you to start Aging Family Partners, and what makes your business different from others that are in the same space?
Well, actually, it came from a personal experience. My sister-in-laws gave me a call because her dad, who was out of state, was going to be having some cardiac issues and some intervention. And she says he's going to need to go to a nursing home for rehab after that. And she started to ask about 10 different questions. She wanted to know, where should she take him? How do you find a nursing home? What questions do you ask? Who should she contact about insurance? What about the medication? When would therapy start? Should she be taking his own clothes? Would they be providing clothes? All the questions that you worry about when someone's going into a facility in order to get extended care. And she wanted to be best prepared. And I hung up the phone and my husband said, I think that's what you need to do, is you need to help these families navigate senior care and senior living. And I said, well, I think I can do that. He says, you know the perspective from a family member, and then you also know it as an operator and as a caregiver. So I'm a physical therapist, licensed nursing home administrator, was an executive director over assisted living, independent living, and memory care communities. And so that lasted about 35 years. So I left corporate America because I saw that there was a need to help families, because everyone has done something different and brought something different to this world. You in your real estate, I wouldn't know the first thing about doing that. But I do know how to help take care of little old people and how to help family members address the concerns so that they can have some peace of mind, because it's so complicated and everyone has their own responsibilities that they also don't have time to address it.
And especially when it's something that is all of a sudden.
Yes.
So like that happened with us with my grandmother. She had a mini stroke, and so we went from caring for her in the house and everything was great to she went into assisted living.
Yes.
And she was in there until she passed. And so it was like, thank goodness we had several family members that were able to step in and help out. But even with that, there was so much you had to figure out what to do.
And we in healthcare, and I will say this as someone that's been in healthcare and in senior care, we are not wonderful at explaining why we're doing what we're doing. Sometimes it may feel that, Mrs. Smith's coming into room 430 today. Everybody knows that. But you know what? This is probably the first time that this woman has ever had to be in an institution. She was a lively person with a vibrant life, with responsibilities. And these families have never had to endure this before. And we forget that this may be their first time. And there's so many questions you don't know to ask. And there's so many systems that may not even make sense. And just being able to be that person to help them guide through so that they are successful and that they're seen, heard, and understood. And that the communities or whatever service is being delivered to them, they can be successful as well. And I help fill those gaps in that communication and the understanding.
Because it's so important that they're in the right place that fits them. Because that's really the only way they're going to be able to transition successfully, is if they feel like they're comfortable in that space.
And they need to be there. Absolutely. And I like to share that not everything is a nursing home. The generation that we're caring for right now has a memory of a nursing home, of maybe a grandparent or something, but they seem to confuse, and rightly so, that independent living is the same as assisted living, which is the same as memory care, which is the same as having a nursing home stay. And they all serve beautiful services, and they provide beautiful services, but the needs are different. Just like you said, there's a different need that has a different level of care, and we just want to make sure that they're properly fitted. And if I can give one tad of advice to families out there, that if you are searching for any type of senior care community to transition your parents to, and that's to look through their eyes and not your eyes.
Yeah.
A lot of family members will go out and they want the resort style living. They want something that looks like they would have maid service and that they're going to have gourmet meals. When in actuality, mom and dad are maybe from a farm, or maybe they are more middle income, and they really would prefer something that feels more like home and
More
doesn't
authentic.
more authentic. It doesn't have the chandeliers, it doesn't have the fancy furniture, but it feels comfortable to sit there. It's pleasant to be there. So we need to make sure that we're looking always through the eyes of our aging loved one that's going to need the care.
That makes sense, because that would be like, putting somebody in a country club
Yes.
that's used to, I don't know, the schoolhouse, or something.
Yeah.
That doesn't make
like
sense.
well like somebody that has gone to church for their socialization, and so they are used to potluck activities, and they're used to bingo at their church, or they're used to having book club, and then all of a sudden you put them in a country club type setting, and that feels awkward to them, and that's not purposeful. And we want them to feel like this step has been life enhancing to them, and not a deterrent.
Just an extension of
who
the life they already were living.
That's right.
That makes sense.
And they will find that other people that are in that environment, they'll have more in common with, because those people too were searching for something that felt like home, and that they feel comfortable in too.
They want their people.
Yeah.
Everybody wants that, I think.
That's right. Regardless of who you are, you still want to be surrounded by something that makes you feel comfortable and makes you feel connected to them.
Absolutely. For someone who's never heard of an aging life care planner before, how would you describe what you do in just simple terms?
It is discovering with that family member, whether it be the aging loved one themselves or someone that they live with or the adult children, sitting down and really letting them tell you what life is like currently. And then where are the struggles, where are the pain points, and what are their desires? Is it something that they stay at home? Then we help adapt the home so that they can continue to live there if that's the safest decision for them. If it's something that they know they really need to go somewhere else where someone takes care of them, then finding a good match for that. Is it something that they maybe need? They don't have their documents done. I have found so many people over the age of 65 don't have their documents done. Well, then let's get you connected to a couple of different estate attorneys so that you can get those plans made. Is it someone that we can just help you downsize, which is your bag? But you recognize that maybe that person isn't even leaving that home, but helping to organize their home in a way that it's more efficient and effective and safe for them. So it's really looking at what are they struggling with on a day-to-day basis and what makes sense for the next chapter, and then helping to connect them to vetted resources so they don't have to. And then just holding their hand as they walk through that process with that vendor.
And I think it's helpful too that, if you're there holding their hand, they still feel some bit of control.
Yes.
So, and I think that's what we all want, is we want to have some control over our destination or over our journey, not just, hey, this is where you're going.
Yes. There's a lot of bosses that start to all come out when you start to be elderly, and they forget the fact that they're still a person. And that they can make decisions as long as they're safe to make them. If not, help them to have educated decisions. But you have to remember that as you age, you're still a person, and people need to respect that you're still a person, and you don't want life happening around you. You want to be part of what happens to you and moving forward. And I think that really happens to a lot of my seniors that I have as clients. All of a sudden they realize that something has to be done. And as we're trying to discover where that person goes from here, all of a sudden all the voices start coming, and all of a sudden I say, let's just stop. And although you have lots of bosses, let's help you have as much control as possible, because all these people mean well. They wouldn't be here surrounding you if they didn't. But let's help it make a plan so that we're all working together on what's best for you, but yet their input is valid. And your voice is valid. So let's try to marry that together.
I think like what I've found just personally in myself is that you're used to that person being a more vibrant, a more
Yes.
lively person. And so when that person has changed,
Yes.
people have a hard time adapting. So it's similar to as a parent
Yes.
and your kids, like as your kids grow up, it's you have to adapt to, they're not little kids anymore,
Right.
they're young adults or whatever.
Yes.
So I feel like you said, you know, there's all this other input, but they have grown into a different person and they need to have that control and that
Mhm.
autonomy to be able to make those decisions for themselves. And
Yes.
I feel like it's better for them to make those decisions earlier
Yes.
than wait to a point where they don't have that ability anymore.
And we have a phrase that says that if you don't plan, the emergency dictates the plan. And many times that's when I get a call from family members because there has been some type of incident, some type of new diagnosis, some fall, some decrease in cognitive abilities that has set off the alarm for those that surround that person. And then all of a sudden they're like, we need to do something. We need to do something. And we'd like it so that maybe there's even just a sketch of a plan so that as something or could happen. And I had one gentleman tell me once, he and his wife they had every resource together that they could possibly have. And he said to me, Tamara, we know that we are one afternoon away from an event that will change our lives forever.
Yeah.
And he says, we want to be as prepared as we can be. And that has resonated with me forever. And I also say that people have the right to make poor decisions, as long as it is not detrimental to their health and safety or that of someone else. Your aging loved one may make a decision that you don't like, but they have the right to fail. And usually with that failure, as long as you can protect them as much as you can, they will end up maybe moving to the care that they needed in whatever capacity that is. So we as individuals, if we have a cognizant mind, just because we're stubborn doesn't mean it's wrong. We still have the right to fail.
Absolutely. So when a family does reach out to you, what typically brings them to that point, and what's the first step that you take together? So if they're in that situation where they have this overnight thing happen and they reach out to you, what's the first steps? How does that look?
What I do is I will schedule an appointment, whether it's phone, Zoom, or in person, where I sit with that aging loved one, with the family that's responsible for them or with them. And what we do is, just like I said previously, is we need to find out what's really going on, and we need to get the medical professionals involved too. Maybe it is something, and you've been around people enough that you know that a urinary tract infection, confusion is the first thing that happens in an elderly person. And so you think, well, oh my gosh, mom is got dementia. Well, maybe she just has a urinary tract infection. And there are multiple ways of getting a medical assessment to that person if we really feel that that's needed. If it's been a slow burn, then it's just time for us to sit and discuss what the largest pain points are. And sometimes you can't address all of the pain points. Sometimes they have 5. When someone's buying a house from you, you say, what is it that you're looking for? And they give you 10
a laundry list.
Yes. And you go, okay, well, we may not be able to get all 10, but can you prioritize the top 5 that are most meaningful to you? And so I do the same thing with my clients, because we need to put out the fire to the highest level ones that have the greatest concern. And so I have a free consultation initially, because maybe I won't be a good fit for them. Maybe they won't be a good fit for me. But first we need to sit down and have a conversation where most times I will still provide education to them and give them offerings of things that they could be doing on the short term as we prepare for the long term. And then we go from there.
Okay. So it's just kind of putting the cards out on the table.
And first you have to learn. Because people are very complicated, and they deserve your ear and your heart to be able to listen, to hear really what is going on with them, because they would not have called if they did not have a concern that raised to that level. And if they're ready, and that's the thing, they have to be ready, then we move forward with working together and signing that contract, and I just put my snorkel on and I dive right in to help gather those resources and start holding their hands. So it's really the aggregate of everyone sitting together and having a conversation, which sometimes is easy and sometimes it's not. Family dynamics, as you well know, play a role in everything. I mean, there's not a person out here that I think has a career that isn't affected by family dynamics. And it doesn't matter if the issue happened a day ago or 40 years ago. That can be very relevant to what happens to mom or dad, aunt or uncle, brother or sister. And sometimes it's working through that to a point that we can at least be working together on something on behalf of the person that really needs that support.
Because there is such a thing as family trauma.
Yes.
There is. Like you said, I know people who, they've been dealing with stuff since they're little kids and they're still having the same issues. And it's like, let that stuff go. But a lot of times,
or table it or something.
It's just that family dynamic, and it's habits that you've just stayed with for so long.
Because you're comfortable there too. If I have to get out of where I'm angry or frustrated or blaming everybody else, I don't want to have to work so hard to get out of that. But sometimes you have to help families to say, you know what, we really need to move that aside for a moment. Because right now it's about dad, and dad's struggling at home. So we'd appreciate your input and anything you can offer that maybe you see something, because we have 4 kids in our family, and we all have a different relationship with my parents, and we all have a different strength with my parents. And I think that we compensate really well for that. And families really need to look to each other, because everyone can bring value in some capacity when you're trying to do what's best for your parents.
And it's so hard to know if you're making the right decisions or not. So
you don't know.
You never, even as a parent, you don't know if you're doing the right thing.
No, there's a lot of praying.
So what are some of the biggest challenges that families face when trying to coordinate care for an aging loved one?
I think number one, finding the time to research the help that's needed and knowing what help is needed.
Which is where you come in.
Which is where I come in.
Because I wouldn't know the first thing about, thank goodness in our family there was somebody else to do all of that. But I would, if you haven't gone through it before, you don't know where to even start.
Yes, and who do you call? And then who do you trust?
Call Tamara.
Call Tamara. Call me. I think the biggest part is trying to coordinate your time, because everyone has responsibilities outside of this role that you play with your family. So many people are married, people are divorced, people have children, people have other dependents. Some people are CEOs and they're traveling. Some people are stay-at-home moms, but they have children with a special needs child. It is endless to the responsibilities that people have. And I think that is one of the largest factors, is what can family members give? And you will find that caregivers will give more than what they have in the tank, and then other things start to falter. And I think having the money to make sure that that person has the care, and finding the resources as best as they can, if they don't have that money, to be able to give them, their loved one, what they really need, and making those accommodations. So it's really knowing where to start, what is really needed, how are we going to divvy up the responsibilities, how do you have time to then regroup to connect on what you found out, and then securing that there are funds in order to help your aging loved one receive those services.
And I think too, it's very, very important to caregivers. Like caregivers, sometimes my mom took care of my grandmother for 25 years.
Oh my golly.
And toward the end, it was, and that's the thing about caregiving. It starts out okay. It doesn't get better.
No.
It progresses and it becomes more and more challenging.
Yes.
To the point to where I told my mom, I was like, you can't do this anymore. And I think sometimes caregivers need that permission.
Yes.
They need permission to tell somebody, to tell them, you can't do this anymore. You shouldn't have to do this anymore. Let's find out how we can best help this
Yes.
person, but take you away from it a little, because
Yes.
it literally was, it was suffocating my mom,
Yeah.
because she was still working a full-time job.
And she lost herself in it.
She did. Everything was about grandma. Everything, and it was sad to see that.
Yeah.
To see her, everything was revolved around her, because grandma needed help to go to the bathroom. She needed somebody to feed her, somebody to get her out of her bed, somebody to dress her earring aids, like everything she did, she needed help.
Yes.
And that fell onto my mom, who was also still working a full-time job. So I think it's really important that, and I think they just need to hear it. Listen, you have
It's okay.
permission
Yes.
to delegate this to somebody else now.
Yes. And there are respite stays available, whether you use an adult daycare center. And people go, oh, that just sounds so awful, sending my loved one to a daycare. But there are very specialized and highly trained daycares for adults that are able to offer stimulation, more meals, personal care, socialization, and they become very good friends.
Yeah.
Those attendees become very good friends. And that allows that caregiver of someone that has memory impairment respite time. Do they continue to work full time? Wonderful. Do they go home and they just put their feet up and read a book and have iced tea? Respite care is covered by some insurances and long-term care insurance. And then you also have times where we would always have to say to people, will you please, your insurance will cover them to stay here for a week in a nursing facility. We'll come and we'll take care of them. Go on that vacation that you thought you were supposed to go on.
Or just go home.
Or go
and
home.
sit on the couch and
do nothing. Whatever refills
go get your
cup.
nails done.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that being a caregiver is a 24/7 responsibility, and it's a burden. And I hate to use the word burden, but it does become very heavy, as your mom found out. And you feel like there's just no relief in sight, but you feel obligated to that person. This is the way you were raised, is to take care of this person. But your loved one also would just be devastated to know that you were sacrificing so much of yourself to give to them.
And I think they become so comfortable in that, hey, this person's here taking care of me, and that they forget that that person is always there taking care of me.
Yes.
And so I think it's a lack of understanding sometimes. And my mom is so giving. She is the most giving person I know, to a point where I'm like, listen, you have to tell people no.
Yes.
You can even tell me no. It's okay.
Yeah, let's practice. No.
But,
That's
she,
right.
like you said, she was just that person, and she was just raised that way. You take care of your parents. And
That's
so,
right.
Yeah.
And as we age, our point of reference gets very small.
Yeah.
So, in your height of your life, you are engaging with all kinds of people. You're caring for your family, you're raising your family, you have grandchildren, and so your world is very big. But then as we get older, our socialization gets smaller, and then our perspective gets smaller, and it really does become all about what they see every day, which is yourself and a spouse, or yourself and a sister, whoever you live with. And so even though your grandma probably didn't recognize that of your mother, if she were probably 10 years younger, she would have.
Yeah.
But her life became your mom and she.
Yep.
And so that was what was comfortable to her.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, she didn't do it purposely. It's just her frame of reference became very small.
Yep, absolutely. So how do you help families decide if they want to age in place or transition to another living arrangement?
It's really their decision. So we will basically sit into a pros and cons situation. So I will educate them on what services or adaptations to the house, or what referrals we can provide in order to give a good indication of, is it practical? Is it safe? Will it give the quality of life you're looking for? Will the upkeep of the house be able to maintain so that they can live a pretty much maintenance-free life here, and we can get enough people surrounding this person to live and age in place? Or is it something where we say it's not in their best interest to stay there, we cannot financially keep the house running and have all these ancillary services, but yet they could transition to another assisted living or a memory care community. And what we do is I will educate them, and we'll have open discussion, and things I always just say, just throw it all out there. It doesn't have to make sense. And then they need to decide which is best for their family, because everyone's unique. But they need to be provided the tools and the data and the information that's specifically directed towards them in their life, so that they can make the most educated decision.
Yeah.
And do it with confidence.
Yeah. Because that makes sense. Because, somebody that needs to go, that would benefit from being in a memory care facility, they probably would not do as well in an assisted living. Like, does that make sense?
Right, because the specialized care is not there.
Yeah.
And the environment has to be adaptable to supporting someone that has memory impairment. You cannot have loud noises and loud lights and loud staff and loud activities. You have to have something that's meaningful, purposeful, and someone that really has a grip on how can you provide a beautiful life for someone that's struggling with memory impairment, and adapting their environment and their care to them. Instead of a big structure that kind of is for everyone to enjoy.
Throw them all in.
Yeah, throw them all in there together.
Everybody in the pool. Right? So can you share a story of a family that you've helped and like the difference that it made? Like maybe somebody that was apprehensive about going into an assisted living or leaving their home and going into a care facility.
I can tell you about one that kind of was there for a respite stay that turned in a little bit longer. I had a lady who was living alone and had a fall and had a fracture of her leg and needed to have that fixed. And I met her when she was in her rehab process. And she says, I live alone. I can't take care of myself. She wasn't rehabbing as quickly as possible. So I helped her find an assisted living. So we went and looked at assisted living so that she could have respite there. And that got to extend her therapy time a little bit. And she's like, I don't really want to go there, and I only want to be there a short period of time. And I said, okay. Well, it took her a little longer to rehab, but she also had some medical complications while she was there, not related to the surgery. But ended up having to have a pacemaker put in. And then she had to be tested for some neurological concerns. And so through that time, she was able to get better, but then we needed to adjust her home. So I had somebody that had an aging in place specialist. She came in, occupational therapist. We kind of ran her through the gamut of the house. We made adjustments to that house so that this woman could return, but she needed to return home with 24-hour care because she did have some mild cognitive impairment. And so even though she didn't want to go to an assisted living, and she had to stay a whole lot longer than she wanted to.
Right.
She was very grateful for that time because she knew that if she went home, she couldn't cook for herself, she couldn't clean, she couldn't do the laundry, and she got to meet some really wonderful people.
Yeah.
And I think that she misses the socialization of the people because now she's home with assistance at home. But unfortunately, that doesn't give her the stimulation that she would get had she still been at the facility. And she's like, oh, I wonder if such and such is still there. And I wonder what she's doing today. So I think that even though people, and I have many people that have not wanted to transition. I have a little couple that did the same thing. You know, the couple both needed to go because mom had dementia and dad was just struggling to care for her.
Right.
And he was very much saying, I don't want to. And the family convinced him to go, and because I think the mom was needing more help and care than he could provide, because again, he's not 29 anymore.
Of course.
And the last time I talked to the family, both mom and dad were doing wonderful in the assisted living, and he did not want to go, and he sat on the couch. He said, I am not leaving my house. And I said, oh, and if it wasn't just the sweetest little man, but you could just tell it was a pride thing. Yeah. And this was the patriarch of the family that's taking care of the matriarch of the family. And he had his heels in there. But given another month, he realized that mom was needing more care. And last time I talked to them, they were both very successful and very happy. And the place also has a memory care part to their
Mhm.
community, so that if she does transition to needing that, they can still be underneath the same roof.
That's wonderful. And it's funny because people, they don't want to ask for help.
No.
They want to just do it all themselves
Yes.
until it gets to the point to where they're drowning and they're struggling. So it's good
Yes.
to ask for
It's
help ahead of
embarrassing to
time.
have help, and it's embarrassing to have someone else meet a need for you.
Yeah.
You know, I would be like, okay, well, you can come in and clean my room, but I don't want you to do my laundry.
Yeah.
Like, those are my personal things.
It's so funny. My mom's friend, her mother had to go into an assisted living because she couldn't stay at home by herself anymore. And of course, it took them a couple of times to, they transitioned around. So
Finding the right one for them.
Yeah, to find the right place. And the place she ended up, it was so funny because we would take her on outings
Yeah.
and go, shopping or go up to the mountains, and she would be like, I got to get back by such and such time
There's
because I
something
got
going
to
on.
see my friends and see what happened
dinner.
over the weekend.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, yes.
So I think it's really important, especially like you said, as their world gets smaller.
Yes.
It's so beneficial to them to get out there where there's other people not only socializing, but that are in the same life phase as they are.
They understand that.
Yeah.
And they'll meet people that maybe did something different for a living. Maybe somebody that has 6 kids becomes best friends with somebody that wasn't able to have kids or chose not to have kids. And after a while, they find that their differences almost bring them together.
Yeah.
So it's really sweet. And I have to tell you that it's usually mostly women. And when men go into senior care, they're kind of a hot commodity. So for anybody that's going to place a family member out there, if your dad or grandpa or something, just know they're going to be a hot commodity.
You are so it's so funny because there was one guy that was in there and the talk was, oh, so and so Miss Thing, she was over talking to him. What does she think is gonna happen?
They fight over them at dinner and his attention and all the things.
Oh yeah, and then he'll have like a couple of different female friends that are, oh well, I'm going to dinner with her today, or oh, I'm playing cards with her today. Like, it was like a regular
they keep
Bachelor
scoring.
in Paradise.
Yeah. the elderly bachelor or something.
Elderly,
now
what was that? Love Island.
Love Island, yeah. I mean, but it's true because even though we are 70, 80, even 90, you don't lose that desire to spend time with the opposite sex.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be anything more than a conversation or going to a movie or playing bingo or just sitting and talking in the library. It's just that companionship that makes you kind of feel complete. So, and don't get me wrong, men, they enjoy it too.
Oh yeah.
So
I wanted to be there with some popcorn, like watching
and just watching it. Oh yeah. It's like high school all over.
Okay, so seriously now, what are a few warning signs that families might need professional help with managing their loved one's care? Like, what are some things that families should be looking out for?
I think it's kind of multifactorial. So, of course, with the cognitive, we all start to forget, and that's okay. We all sometimes are slower to process or think of something. That is okay. But if any of those start to affect your everyday life and safety, you're getting lost going to the doctor that you always go to, or you're getting lost to go get your hair done, you're forgetting why you went to the grocery store, you're missing major appointments, you're not being able to keep up with your self-care. When it starts to impede your quality of life and your overall daily function, that's when we need to be worried. So if you go in there and you see mom is disheveled, or she's more quiet, she's withdrawn, she's not going to church, she's not hanging out with the ladies anymore. Those are things to be concerned about. Is she getting isolated? Is she getting depressed? Is she starting, you open up the cupboard and you see that there's something that should be in the refrigerator.
Right.
Or you go to hang up your coat and there's I was gonna say the Barbasol can, but the shaving cream.
Yeah.
You notice that things are misplaced, that it's maybe more than just distraction.
Right.
If you notice that they are repeating themselves and they're not being able to retain conversations that have important information for them in it, are they starting to, mobility wise, are they starting to we call it furniture walking, but they're walking by holding onto furniture, meaning that they're unstable. If they're having more falls,
Yeah.
if they are not being able to climb the stairs, or they're sleeping in the recliner now because they can't climb the stairs, or they're
Yeah.
having more difficulty breathing at night. So they're like, oh, I just sleep in the recliner because it's just easier. Or maybe it's
Yeah.
because they're closer to the bathroom as opposed to if they went to their regular bedroom.
Yeah.
Slow shuffling steps. Maybe they're not being able to keep up with their checkbook. They're paying some bills twice, maybe other bills not at all. Maybe they have new friends circling around. I mean, the scams are everywhere. They're making big decisions on wills and purchases and withdrawals. Anything that just isn't normal behavior,
Yeah.
or that you notice that they're just, if your spidey senses go off,
There's a reason.
there's a reason that your
Yeah.
spidey senses are going off. And it may not just be that one thing, but it could be multiple things that if we look a little deeper, you will see that when you add them all up, mom or dad are struggling.
Yeah.
But they're going to be too proud to tell you.
Yeah.
And if I can give one suggestion, is if you can, is to see them in person, or have someone else be seeing them in person, because if you call them on the phone, they can mask all kinds of issues.
Yeah.
But if you have somebody that's literally eyes on them, you will see that they're wearing stained clothes, that maybe they haven't been able to even button their shirt right. Maybe you go into the refrigerator and there's outdated food, there's moldy food, dishes haven't been done, things haven't been swept, there's clutter everywhere. Really getting an eye on them as frequently as possible will help tell the tale of how well they're doing.
Yeah, that makes sense. What's the one thing that you wish every family would do before they find themselves in a crisis, like where they have to find somebody to take care of the loved one?
To find out from their parents their plans for the future, what their preferences are, the yeses, the nos, that would be tolerable, that would not be tolerable. I would like to be there, I would not like to be there. Making sure their documents are updated, to make sure that you know that if and when you get a call that something happened, or that their life has changed forever, you can easily accommodate and be their voice, and to ensure that they have the quality of life per their preferences and guide. And that's huge when it comes to hospice. I may not want to die the same way that you want to die.
Right.
Some people want to be surrounded by a lot of people. Other people want to just be quiet in their own room. They want to pass at home. Others don't want to pass at home because they have somebody at home that they don't want them constantly thinking of. That's their last memory.
Right.
Do you want scents? Do you want noise? Do you want music? Do you want peace? There are so many different aspects of the dying process, but that's also about the living process.
Right.
And we want to be able to honor that however we can.
Yeah.
So just open dialogue and planting the seed little by little, so that you don't sit down and have that whole conversation at one time, but you're starting to build that information so that you can best care for them and make decisions for them and be an advocate for them.
Yeah. For families watching who want to learn more or get started, what's the best way for them to reach you?
Multiple ways. You can go to my website, which is currently being redone, so that's new and exciting. You can schedule a phone call or a Zoom on there. And then you can also email me at Tamara, Tamara, at agingfamilypartners.com. And my phone number is 865-630-2800. Again, that's 865-630-2800. And I have helped families and loved ones in 7 different states. So maybe your aging loved one doesn't live here in East Tennessee, but you have someone else in another state, I'm more than happy to help with whatever obstacles you're enduring to help lessen the burdens and give you some peace of mind.
That's wonderful.
Thank you.
You are providing such a beautiful service.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
If you'd like to learn more about Aging Family Partners, I've included Tamara's contact information and website below. And if you're thinking about your own next chapter, whether that means downsizing, relocating, or simply planning ahead, I'm always here to help you to find the right path with confidence and care. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next interview.